Okay, we're going to hit on the customer service policy, some of the rules, and answer some frequently asked questions regarding some of these rules. So, some of our customers' service policies are just going to go right in order with these guys. 3-day cancellation. So, obviously, we do 3-day cancellation is based on the day that the client signs the agreement. If it is a post date, it is not the day that the deal goes through. It is the deal that it is signed. The agreement within 3 days. Sunday does not count as a business day. If an individual wants to cancel within that period, they must come in with either they can submit mail, they can do it via email through customer service. They need a letter or a signed form. Obviously, the best case scenario is to have them come into the facility and speak with us essentially about why they're canceling, what's causing them to do it. The more often we're able to get people to come into the facility, the easier it is for us to convince them not to cancel and maybe change programs or change avenues or just get them committed to their initial agreement. So again, if a client does 3-day, they are entitled to a full refund of their deposit, and obviously there will be no commission paid off on that. So they do need to come in. We want to have the client sign the client account change form, marked 3-day, sign date. Make sure that all the information on this customer service doc is completed within 3 days of the signed contract date. Again, not counting Sunday. And if that happens, we will resubmit a full refund. The next is a stop auto renewal cancel. So at the end of every term, the client's program will automatically roll over month to month until they give us written notice or consent to stop it. So just a reminder that is a 30-day notice is required, and the client will be billed within that 30-day period. So we want to ensure that we are giving people adequate information, and we are letting them know that if they do want to cancel, it is a 30-day notice from the day that they submit that form. If a client has paid their last month dues, so if they do first and last month, if they pay the last month, that individual will not be charged monthly, biweekly amount after the 30-day notice is received for the end of their program. With the nutrition cancel, that is somewhat void because we do not do the nutrition cancellations anymore since we have changed our nutrition setup. But there is a 3-day notice to cancel in case we do get back into subscriptions and things of that sort. Relocation cancel varies by state. So if I'm not mistaken, Maryland, Ohio, Pennsylvania are 25 miles away from the location that was submitted when they signed up. We should be using their home address when signing people up. In Virginia, it is 50 miles from the residence. If that person relocates more than 25 miles, but they are within 5 miles of a location that we service, they cannot cancel. They will have to essentially relocate facilities and just transfer locations. They would not be able to cancel for that particular purpose. They will need to show proof of the relocation. So if you're signing a form and someone wants to relocate, you should not be submitting that form. You should be letting that client know that we cannot cancel that account until they give us the proper documentation, such as a signed lease or a mortgage agreement, driver's license showing their current address within 30 days of the cancellation, a utility bill that shows the address, has their name on it. That can be electric, gas, phone bill, internet cable, and it has to be a mailed version so that we know that they're not just updating on the internet and then going back and updating again. Same thing, bank, credit card, insurance statements have to be mailed versions. A paycheck stub would count as long as it has the person's name and address on it. If you are using USPS Postal Service, it needs to be a printed confirmation. People cannot go and fill out the change of address form and use that information as the cancellation. We will not accept that. Military orders, we need to make sure that we're checking dates and that the orders are for themselves or a spouse can be listed. But we need to have straight proof that those orders are adequate and that they're fair. If proof to move is not acceptable for the cancellation, we need to let the member know that it was rejected and for what reason, and then we need to give that client the information they need in order to be able to proceed with their cancellation request. The buyout cancellation is extremely important, guys. We should not be telling clients that they can use sessions in order to cancel. That is a breach of our company's policy. Let's ensure that we're doing that. We're not doing that. That needs to be requested to your customer service rep, your senior advisor in your facilities, district managers, upper management, so on and so forth. Those are the only people that can give approval for that. We should not be telling clients that we're going to request that from them. That is a last resort to help that client out. So the client must pay a fee that is 15% of their program value or $250, and it is whichever is highest. So make it short. A buyout cancel will never be less than $250. Okay. If you look at the overall program value, if you multiply that by 0.15, 15%, that will give you a total number. If that number is above 250, that is the number you use. If that number is below 250, then you need to use 250 for the cancellation. And that total cancellation fee, the 250 or 15%, must be paid at one time in order to cancel or void out that program. Again, as mentioned, the full payment, we do not do a payment plan for this. Okay. At the client's request, any used or unused or non-expired sessions can be applied towards a buyout only if the client is requesting it. We should not be telling clients that they have the ability to do that. Okay. The next cancellation policy is the medical cancel. Okay. There must be a submitted letter signed by a medical doctor or a DO. We do not accept things from chiropractors. We do not accept things from physical therapists. We do not accept anything from nurses. It has to be signed by an MD or a DO. That note must also state, if not the client's medical condition, but it must state that the medical condition will prevent the client from using personal training program permanently or indefinitely. One of those two words must be on that document for us to accept it. We want to make sure that we are giving clients adequate information and telling them exactly what they need to do so that we do not further frustrate clients who are trying to cancel their programs by not giving them the information they need. So if a client mentions that they're looking to medical cancel, we want to tell them that it has to be signed by an MD or DO, and the document must say that they permanently or indefinitely cannot participate. If those things are not on that document, we will not accept it. And that person will feel like they're having to jump through hoops. If we are not giving them that information, that is on us as well to make sure that we're doing it. So if a client requests they can request a refund for any unused or expired sessions when they do medical cancel. Again, it is only based on them requesting. These are not things that as a business we should be using as incentive for people to cancel. If we find out that is the case, clearly there will be disciplinary action for those actions. So let's make sure that we're following protocol. Moving into the freeze policy and freeze request. Okay, a client can freeze for a period of 30 days for any reason. They can submit it. It is a $30 fee for anyone who wants to freeze their account for 30 days. They only get to do it one time. And that must be submitted 5 days prior to their next billing date. So if a customer's billing date today is 6/11, if their billing date is on 6/15, that falls within a 5-day freeze period. That client will be charged on 6/15. Then their account will be frozen effective 6/16. So again, let's make sure that when clients are freezing, they understand that, one, there's a $30 fee, and that any payments that fall within the next 5 days of that date that they're signing that form, they will receive one more charge before that account is frozen. When the account is frozen, we will push all of their sessions. We will give them a 30-day stretch to those sessions as they come in. To extend a freeze past the 30-day mark for 60 or 90 days, that needs to be approved by upper management. More than likely, that will not happen only unless there is an extreme circumstance or if there is medical. If there's a medical reason for the freeze, then there will not be a penalty of $30. We will freeze that person's account for the requested 30 to 90 days. Anything past 30 days, we would need to do a medical cancel in which that person would have to provide medical documentation stating that they again cannot participate permanently or indefinitely. We don't do financial really in terms of hardship, but if we do, they must show an employment termination or separation layoff notice. Working our way into the 6-week challenge members. All cancellations, all refund requests will be handled internally right now at the given moment. If you have one of those situations, please email support@compelfitness.com or reach out to your direct supervisor in reference to who to direct that to. Any complaints, any trainer staff issues should go to Compel Upper Management, that being the district managers, the area ops managers, the operations manager, or any sales, upper sales management. For customer contact, client has access to Club Ready customer service as well as us 24 hours a day, following the numbers that we use in terms of our support system. If they submit it via email, there will be a ticket that is started, and that ticket will not be closed until there is a resolution to that. So that is our customer service rules of engagement. We will jump into the document and ensuring that we know how to fill these out correctly.